Hello, my name is Larry Samuel, and I am the author of African Americans and Homeownership in Queens in the 1920s in New York Archives. I'm very happy that the magazine has published the article, as I believe that it's an important story of New York history that hasn't really been told before. The piece was adapted from my book, Queens, A History of the Most Diverse Place on Earth, which I just happen to be holding in my hand. The book was published in May of this year by SUNY Press. I first want to mention that some of the material in my book was sourced from historical records located in New York State, including the Greater Astoria Historical Society, the Roosevelt Island Historical Society, the Queens Chamber of Commerce, the NYU Furman Center, and the Museum of Chinese in America in Manhattan. Those institutions hold in their respective collections a rich body of maps, documents, artifacts, images, and other primary materials related to Queens and New York City from colonial times to the present, so a big thank you to them. Okay, on to my article, which again concerns African Americans and homeownership in Queens in the 1920s. African Americans had actually been part of the population of Queens for centuries, which is a story unto itself, but their number increased dramatically due to the Great Migration. Many of the Southern Blacks settled in Harlem, in Upper Manhattan, and Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn, but those neighborhoods quickly became crowded and thousands decided to relocate to Queens. The 1920s were prosperous times in the United States, and for the first time, members of the middle class could afford to become homeowners instead of renters. By the mid part of the decade, many African Americans had benefited from the robust economy and were seeking to buy property in the borough. The African American real estate market ran parallel to the larger white one, as most of the neighborhoods in the borough were segregated at the time. Jamaica, and to a lesser extent Corona, represented the heart of the African American community in Queens, making those neighborhoods the choice for most. Builders, whether white or black, recognized that there was a legitimate market in Jamaica and Corona for, as they were commonly called, colored buyers. A nice two-family home, brick or frame, could be had for $10,000 and a single-family home for half of that. Jamaica had become the most popular place for African Americans from Manhattan and Brooklyn to relocate for the very same reasons that whites were attracted to Queens. It was an easy hop to Manhattan by subway, the LIRR, or trolley, and property remained relatively cheap compared to most other parts of New York City. As in Harlem, more blacks were buying property on streets in Jamaica that had previously been all white. More often than not, should one African American family buy a house on such a street, white neighbors quickly put their house on the market. By the end of 1925, it was believed that Jamaica, Queens, was the only suburb in the United States predominantly populated by blacks. And I should mention that not just Jamaica, but Queens as a whole was generally seen as a suburban area at the time, despite being part of New York City. Over the course of the next century, homeownership of African Americans would continue to play a key role in the development of Queens, which I discuss at length in my book, which I still happen to be holding in my hand. In the book, I trace the narrative of how and why Queens transformed from a quasi-suburb of Manhattan for the white upper middle class into what is widely considered the most diverse place in the country and likely the world. Thank you for watching this short video, and I hope you enjoy the article and the book.